Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sharilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting right now, only on Stunner Radio, the heart and soul of the culture.
Hello, good evening,
everybody. So listen, let's start off by saying good evening, just like Sharilyn said. But we need to let you all know that Linda Scott can't see. I need to let them know that.
No.
Okay, but I needed them to know that I feel better that they know that I can't see. Yeah.
But most people who know, you can't
I can't see.
So, yeah, okay.
So listen, it is wow, it's gonna be a fantastic show.
We have Koretta Brown, and she has an awesome story. This young lady is on fire. For the community, for women, for children. I mean,
for everybody.
She's just like the ever ready bunny, and she's here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. Hey, Dolores, how are you? So, but listen, on top of all of that, this is a young, powerful woman. Sometimes we get a little older, our numbers get higher, but sometimes it takes a younger person coming behind us because she's experienced some things that we never have experienced. And we met. No, we didn't meet. We host a red carpet. Was that Saturday night? And oh my God, I was blown away with what all that she does. I knew a little about her, but that was awesome. That was amazing.
And the women that we met,
the
women that she honored. Yes. That was some more powerful women. And these are women that you don't hear about every day. Is not in the limelight every day. But they're behind the scenes doing some powerful things. And through the whole program, I sit pretty much with my mouth open from the things that I heard and the things that I seen. It was so awesome. It was really, really awesome.
Well, thanks for coming into the Golden Square Podcast. Look, let's go ahead and bring on our guest. We've said what we need to say. Now let her say what she needs to say.
Hello,
hey, girl.
Koretta.
How are you?
Hello. Thank you to the Golden Podcast for having me on. I appreciate it. How are y'all?
We're good. We're good. So we know what you do. I don't think we do justice. So you tell the people a little about yourself.
Okay, so I am an entrepreneur and I have two organizations. One organization is a 501c3. It's called Bridges to Empowerment, where we focus on helping to bring about restorative justice. So at Bridges to Empowerment, we imagine a world that gives second chances. We imagine a world that doesn't have slavery. We imagine a world where people can excel to the highest of their capabilities. We imagine a world where the education system is not a school to prison pipeline, where we actually invest in our children. And so being that organization, some of the things that we do is we advocate. We help people tell their stories. We help people get second chances, becoming organizations and building their platform. We help you if you call us and you let us know that you have a loved one that's in Harris County Jail that need assistance. We do that. We go inside of Fort Bend County Jail and register people to vote. I mean, we do. This year we're planning on launching our Ride to Court program. The Ride to Court program is basically a program that's going to give people. We're gonna get them to our location. We're gonna give them breakfast, and then we're gonna drive them to court. And we're going to be with them while they're at court. And we want to do this because we want to work towards decreasing the number of warrants that occur in Fort Bend County simply because people don't have a ride to court. And so they miss their court date. And so we do so much that we're trying to give back. And then the other organization is the Young in the Politics. And look, a lot of things we can't do if we don't have the right people in office.
Absolutely.
So we help progressive candidates get elected into office.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So let me ask you this. This is only in Texas. Do you have assistance or anything out of the state of Texas?
So we have been invited twice to work in the Senator Warnock campaign in Georgia. So we went
Okay.
runoff race that they had. We I want to say 2 years ago, we went and we helped block walk, knock on doors in Georgia. In Gwinnett County was that year, and then this past runoff race we went to Georgia and we were in DeKalb County, and
Okay.
collectively we probably touched 2,400 doors.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So you are extending yourself outside of Texas, which is good. So are you going to be collaborating with other states outside of Georgia as well? I knew that question, but are you going outside of Georgia, or you're just taking one state at a time? Because the reason I'm asking that, because I know people in other states, and I'm like, oh, she needs to get with them. She needs to get with them. We all need help, and when we don't know who to go to, then we can't seek the right help.
Right.
We lose out on what is going on and the opportunity that we would have gotten if we would have showed up. Absolutely. So how did you start all of this? Why was this so important for you to start these organizations?
Well, first, the reason that it was so important is because I've been incarcerated, right? I served 6.5 years in prison. And coming home from incarceration, especially in Texas, you realize that you're always going to be a slave in some form or fashion. And what that is, every time you apply for a job, you have to check the box, which means you have to tell this person that you've been incarcerated, which means you have to now go through a different type of hiring process. And you may not get the job, and more likely you're not going to get the job. And so I got tired of not getting jobs. I got tired of getting employment, and then,
they come back and terminate her because of the information.
Right, being allowed to do the work, but not being paid the salary to do it. And I one day at TSU, a guy named Elvante came to me. It was 3 of them. They had started the Young and the Politics on TSU campus. They was all graduating. They came to me. They said, "Koretta, do you want to take over the Young and the Politics?" I said, yes. After I graduated, I still wanted to keep doing it. So I just took it and made it into a business. And that's from there, Bridges to Empowerment ended up manifesting because it was just so much advocacy work outside of getting people.
Yes.
So, Koretta, you said that you give assistance to people in jail. What type of assistance do you offer? What kind of assistance can you give?
So basically, if you have a loved one that's in the county jail and they're being mistreated, and you give me a call, then I have built relationships over time to where I can have, I can put in a request to have your loved one checked on to make sure they are okay. Right. There's an organization called Grassroots Leadership. Grassroots Leadership in Harris County has the participatory defense program, where they actually have people that they have an organizer that goes to court with the individual, help the individual throughout their court case, navigating. They don't act as an attorney, but they act as an advocate navigating. And so we can connect our, if somebody called me with a loved one, which we have done before, we connect them with Grassroots Leadership for the Participatory Defense Project. But really, we advocate for your loved one. If your loved one is in county jail and being victimized, please don't hesitate to reach out.
So Koretta, what is your involvement with? I'm experiencing so many young people going to jail and being housed with adults, teenagers and young people. How could you help someone like that? How could you advocate for a teenager, someone who doesn't even have a record, who gets picked up for maybe shoplifting or something very, very minor?
So
how could you help them?
So basically, what I would do is I would go to the source. I'm going straight to the source. I'm going to reach out to the sheriff's office. I'm going to talk to the person that's in charge, and I'm going to let it be known that this is happening and it should not be happening, and I need to know when something is going to be done about it. And that's what we usually do. If I need to make a call to the district attorney office, I'm going to make a call. And if we need to bring light to a situation, we're going to bring light to that situation. As of yet, I haven't had to do that, except for the few times where I made like a post on social media, but then after that, the ball got rolling. And so I usually don't have to, do protests and things like that, because the people that we work with generally don't want people getting victimized. So I would reach out and say, hey, this individual is in this tank, should not be in this tank, is unsafe in this tank. How can we fix this? And
so
then,
when you say in a tank, what does that mean? And what does that mean? They are not being treated right in the tank.
So a tank is considered a tank is the jailhouse slang for a housing unit. And it can look different ways, right? So one tank can have individual cells where there's a day room, a place where you go in and you walk around and stuff during the daytime. And then there are different cells that are blocked off with walls. And then at nighttime, the door closes. So you're in there by yourself.
So I see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's one of the most safest tanks to be in. But then there's another tank that is typically considered to be like your animal tank.
That's right.
The tank is open, right? It's just bunks. It just bunks, right? And you close your eyes at night, you can't feel safe, because you never know if somebody gonna come up on you or sneak up on you. So a scenario like that, I would be advocating for a person who is, young, inside a murder tank. That's just not right. You leave the individual susceptible to being victimized and not able to defend themselves.
So, and I'm trying to get all. I ain't going. I hope not. Okay. So, but for a young lady who's in the tank and she is mistreated, how would she be able to reach you to help her in that situation?
Yeah, so right now it's kind of difficult, right? Right now it's really word of mouth, right? Somebody have to know somebody that know me at this point in order to be able to reach me if they are in the jail. If they are out, if they're out of jail and they, I mean, right now, that's really how it is. Somebody have to know me and then, get in touch with me that way, and I get involved. We're working on a program right now that we're going to try to submit, that we are going to submit.
Right.
And help, create a grassroots organization in partnership with Harris County Jail that give them an opportunity to give people our phone number that's in the jail so that they can be able to call us. So to be like a partnership where we can be like, hey, look, this person is being victimized, and the phone number can be available. But right now we're not there yet. We're just in a planning stage.
In a planning sphere.
So, Koretta, do you work with Harris County and Fort Bend County?
Yes, I work with Fort Bend.
Any other counties you work with?
Not at the moment. At the moment, our capacity is Harris and Fort Bend County. We are looking to expand as resources find its way to us.
Right. Let me ask you this question, because I'm still concerned with people that are, and because it's only important and for what you are doing, And I know we have to always take care of home before we, go somewhere else. Right. But if there are other states or other cities who is interested in what you are doing, would you not, or would you join them and say, okay, this is how you do this. This is what we're going to do. So, because we need it so bad. It's like, it's just not here.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Once you start seeing people get abused in the jailhouse.
And we know you're just one person, Koretta, right. But is there a way that you can start like somebody can contact, like somebody from Kentucky contact you and say, Koretta, teach me how to do what you're doing. Is that a possibility?
That's a part of what Bridges to Empowerment is. It doesn't live in Fort Bend or if you live in Harris County, right?
Right.
Wherever you are, if you want to learn how to advocate,
Okay. Terrell said connect me with her. And we will. That's what I'm saying. We need this, and we need her so badly. But she don't need no lazy people. She don't need no lazy people. She want to work. So the programs that she had, and then the people that she's involving herself with, is to show them that we can come together. We will come together, and we're gonna fight and work for someone else. So I believe if someone gave you a hand, not just because they gave you a hand, but from my heart, I'm going to give back to you to help you get out of. Why should I take all the knowledge that I have or you have and take it to our grave when we can help someone else with this? Terrell, we most definitely will make this connection for you.
Yeah, we can give you information.
She got lost, but she's coming back. See, I told you she's coming back. So this young lady right here, I admire her so much that she didn't just say, okay, I've been in this, I'm just going to stay. I'm not going to help nobody else. No. I got out, so y'all do whatever you want to do.
Everybody the benefit of what she went through.
And I don't think you should be able to, not be able, I don't think you should go to jail and be treated like an animal.
Like an animal, yeah.
Why? For what reason? I mean, we've done some things that's supposed to be rehabilitating us. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to be doing. But instead, you're beating me like an animal, and to beat on a woman like she's an animal, that's crazy. That is like, for me, it's really crazy. It really just blows my mind, and I think that's where my heart goes out and with Koretta all the time, whatever that we can do, because we all know somebody who done been in jail. No, let me start counting my fingers on my family members, and then I include myself. But we've all had that, and we need to learn not to turn our back.
Not to turn our back. You know, when you talk to law enforcement and you talk to the people who are over the jail system, they will tell you that 99% of the people in there say they're innocent. And I don't believe everybody's innocent, but I believe that there are some innocent people in jail. There's some innocent people that are locked up. Circumstances in the wrong place at the wrong time. A whole lot of different things happen that everybody should not be in prison. Should not go to prison.
Well, Terrell said he was a victim of this behavior, and anyway, I can help you, Linda. I will. Okay, so. We get in help, and he's out of Florida. That's why I kept asking about any other states that she goes to. When we start talking about jail yesterday, we used to say, well, where is whoever? He going to college. He going to college. He going to
visit Aunt Martha.
Right. So, but when he comes back, and just mentally disturbed from where he's been. Well, what college education did he get? So we need to learn just from them and the people that we are that we're working with to say, okay, no more college for you. Tell us what took place. How can we help the next person from not going through that same punishment?
They don't go through the same situation, as do something different.
Right.
You know, I think I honestly think that jail should be rehabilitation.
And that's what it's for. What it's supposed to be, though.
That's what it's supposed to be, but it's not happening.
Right.
I think they should bought a trade school. They should have, provide things. And I don't think, now this is just my opinion. Once someone has served their time, I don't believe that they should be labeled as a felon and can't get a job. I don't think they should be labeled as a felon and can't vote. You're working every day, you're paying taxes like everybody else. I think once you served your time and you paid your penalty, that then you should be able to come out and have all the rights and privileges of any other citizen.
But it's set up. It is set up for those things to happen just like that. You go to jail, and when you're walking out the door, they tell you, you'll be back.
Yeah,
and I can speak that way because my son, after my daughter was killed in a car accident, mentally he thought he's supposed to go out in the street and he was going to do some things, and I'm like, boy, you can't do that. But he went. He served his 4 years. As he was leaving, they said, "You'll be back." He said to them, "You a lie," and that was about 10 years ago. And we don't have to, but they set that up so that we can go that route. I don't think that should be. Well, we already said we don't think it should be, but that's how they have it set up for us so that we can go repeaters. You'll be back. This is gonna be your cell. And okay, so I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Okay, so they ready? They ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. So Linda Scott, back in 1980, we'll just say 87. Linda Scott went to jail for someone else, something that I did not do, and I honestly did not do. And I was stayed in jail for, I think, about 8 hours.
About 8 hours.
About 8 hours. There was some long 8 years, honey. There wasn't 8 hours. But true to what she said, that I kept waiting for them to come and get me out of here, and it didn't happen right away. So they wanted to take me in and take my fingerprints and take that mug shot. And when they said take a picture, I said, okay. And they was like, no, you can't smile. I'm like, yeah, I ain't done nothing. Hey. So bottom line, they wouldn't take my picture because I would not stop smiling. So on top of that, they end up, because it was taking so long, put me, she said a tank. They put me in a cell. And I kept calling home saying, hey, what time y'all coming to get me?
My phone bill was $500. Trust me. every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of there. What's going on? But the girls who were in there were repeaters. And then there was this big girl, bigger than me, who was messing with all of those. And I think we were in a holding cell. But she was messing with all of them. And then she came over to me, and I'm like, oh my God. So if I fight her, I'm going to be in jail for a long time.
For real.
But if I don't fight her, she's going to be bothering me for a long time. So when she came over to me, I said, girl, you don't want none of this. Trust me when I said you don't want any. And she said, so why you in here? I said, for trying to kill my husband. She said, oh, well, let me tell you how to do it. That blew my mind. I was not ready for that answer. I said, I don't need you to tell me how to do this. I already know. So I said that to say, you get into that tank, as she said, a tank, and you don't know how to get out. I'm accustomed to sleeping in a nice sleeping outfit. And they gave me a dress with holes in it, and it was wrinkled. And I said, so what you want me to do with this? They're like, girl, go in there and take your shower. And I can't. Y'all, I had a head full of hair, and you gave me a little comb. What am I going to do with that? I said, oh, my God, please, y'all, hurry up and come and get me. I couldn't take it. I definitely knew I wasn't going back in there. But I didn't have people like Koretta to help get me out of this situation for something that I had not done. Fortunate for me, it didn't go on my record because, again, I did not do what was done. And it was a bad check. And y'all know Texas don't play with them hot checks. It was a bad check, and I didn't write it, and they knew it, and they let me out. And that was finally when Sharilyn and them came and got me. They thought it was funny. I thought I wanted to kill them and go back to jail. That's what that was all about. But
she's coming every 5 minutes. Oh, Koretta, welcome back.
Koretta, welcome back, sweetie. We were just talking about some incidents that I had went through, being in jail. Nobody would ever know. And I'm not. Hey, it happened. It was in my life. I was young, and I was with the wrong crowd, which would have been an X for me. And it happened. But again, I wouldn't have known none of this. I wasn't mistreated because I didn't allow myself to be mistreated.
And you weren't there long.
And I wasn't
8 hours.
8 hours.
It
seemed like 8 years. No, 8 years. It seemed like 8 years. It was a long time. Bologna sandwiches, greasy bag.
You didn't eat that.
And I didn't eat it. So that means I didn't eat all day. Okay. So, but again, we all need this. We do. We all need this.
Because like I said, there's a whole lot of innocent people in jail for crimes that they did not commit, different circumstances and whatever. So we need someone to be a advocate.
Yes.
And everybody know me. Children are my passion. I mean, so, and I see a whole lot of young children going to jail for little simple stuff.
Yeah.
And then they put them in jail with grown people. And I think that's so unfair. Koretta, are you back?
Thank you, Koretta. Koretta's having, she's going in and out, but she's here. Okay. She's coming back. Don't worry. We'll be able to get you in contact with her. But unfortunately, wherever she is, she's her
internet or her
something is not
working.
Going. That's the devil. Devil's a
But Koretta gave you back, Koretta?
I'm back. I don't know what's happening.
It's okay.
I hear you talking, but then it's like my camera is not on, so I have to turn the camera off and then turn it back on. It's really weird what's happening right now.
But it's you. So tell us.
Koretta, tell us about what made you want to put on that gala, that event that you did on Saturday.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
first of all, I want to tell you it was marvelous. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But tell us what made you want to honor those women and men.
Thank you so much. Real quick though, I was hearing what you were saying, and I really wanted to touch on a few things that you said. One of the things was, Cheryl, you said that you feel like, when people come home, they should have their rights restored. They should be able to vote. They should, because you served your time. Right. And I agree with that, but I like to take it a bit further because I believe that we are all human beings, right?
Right.
And if we make a mistake and we get arrested and we're in the jail or what have you, or we end up going to prison, that's not a reason for us to not be able to continue being a citizen or being a human being.
Right.
And the narrative, of waiting until you come home, that narrative perpetuates slavery. And according to the 13th Amendment. So now to get to answering the question about why I decided to host the gala. Well, I was seeing so many advocates that are comrades with me.
Yes.
All this great work. And then I'm looking at all of these awards, shows, all of these award galas that's going on. And none of the advocates are getting recognized, right?
Yes.
You really have to do something extraordinary and unique, right, to be recognized. And that's according to the standards of people that don't really know how important and how hard advocacy is.
Yes.
So I wanted to take, and I did not get to honor the many people that I wanted to honor, right? Because there's so many people doing the work. So I took the first class, which was Saturday, and those were the ones that were closest to home. Those were the ones who I've worked with the longest, that I've been able to see them in action the longest. And one is Savannah Eldridge. And she has been here since the very beginning. She actually did a Facebook post with her pictures, in which case she said, I remember when Bridges to Empowerment was just an idea on paper.
Wow.
That's how we've been working together. And
hold on 1 second, Koretta. We got to take a quick break, and then you can come back and finish telling us your story. So we'll be right back in 15 seconds. 15 seconds. We'll be right back.
30 at the most.
If you're looking for custom handcrafted fashion jewelry that makes a statement, look no further than Linda S. Jewelry, 1426. We specialize in quality pieces fit for any occasion. Follow us on Facebook at Linda S. Jewelry 1426 to view our inventory or to make a purchase. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
How would you,
Koretta? Hold on,
welcome back, everybody. Koretta, go ahead and tell your story, because we do have a question that we want to ask you about.
Okay.
Hi, Sharilyn.
Okay, so then with Savannah, she does so much work in the prison. So I do work in the jails, right? And I support organizations that do work in the prisons, and I'll go and I'll speak and things like that. But Savannah actually does what I do in the jail. Savannah has organized and has done it on, like you was saying, asking me, she's doing it in Alabama.
Wow. Okay.
With men that live in prison in Alabama. She is so she's so intelligent and intellectual and strategic in the work that she does, to where she found a way to use what the Alabama legislations were trying to do with
I remember her.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And she took that and was like, okay, look, we actually need to eliminate that you are a slave. You know that if you you are a slave. So the people that we honor were people that are doing exceptional work that is extremely difficult, and it is very undervalued and underappreciated.
The whole night I sit there as you introduced one of your honorees, and they told their story and they told what they were doing. I was sitting there and said, these are some of the most amazing, and the men were amazing too, but the women were awesome. God. I mean, I was just sitting there with my mouth open.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, a lot of those women, I didn't even know who they were. They worked so behind the scenes, and they worked so strategically that you never hear about them. You never hear about the work that they're doing and the effort and the money. I know they're spending money out of their own pockets to do this, and their time. It was just awesome.
Terrell was saying, I can't see it.
Terrell said,
hold on 1 second.
Even if your charge was withheld, adjudicated, they are locking you up. The polls still have you listed as a registered voter.
So how do we fix that, or is there a way that we could So how can we fix that? I mean, I didn't know. Go ahead.
So that's a conversation for right now, right? Because the legislation is in session right now. And they have, when I say they have, I can't tell you how many bills filed.
Wow.
Against voter rights, and they are trying to increase the penalties for accidentally voting, right? So what we have to do, if we want to stop that, is we have to start advocating and going to the legislative session and letting it be known. But the core of it is that we need people to start turning out and start voting.
Yeah.
That's the core of it.
Yes.
We had, I want to say, 11 million people or 9 million people that stayed home this recent election. So if we want to be able to, in Texas, if we want to be able to make changes, then it start with getting out to vote, because I just want to be honest with everybody here. And I just want to let people know that the Republicans have 86 seats.
Yeah.
That's like a super majority.
Yeah.
And then they have the majority in the state Senate. It is going to take our Democrats being extremely strategic. And extremely strategic this legislative session, and it's going to take us coming out and supporting them and showing up to the legislative Black Caucus. They're having a legislative summit coming up in I want to say it's in March, but it could be in April. But we need to be there. We need to be supporting, and that's how we get to make these changes. Other than that, we have to keep doing it grassroots style, and that's like, every individual.
How do we know? How do we know? I'm not. I know because I know you. But if I don't know you, how do I know that I need to attend whatever's going on to make a change? Because a lot of people don't have social media. And then there's a lot of people who say, okay, I'm done with that nothing is going to change, which we know for those people is not going to change because you're not helping it change. So how do we get more people involved to be a part of this, Koretta?
So first off, you're right? Everybody don't have social media. Everybody don't have access to Koretta Brown's grassroots leadership, Savannah Eldridge, Angela Johnson. They don't have access to us.
Right.
But if you're somebody, but what we need to be doing, and this is, we need people to be donating into organizations like Bridges to Empowerment, into organizations like the Young in the Politics, so that we can put boots on the ground and be able to take the information to the door, not just during election time, but all of the time, to keep up with everything that's going on. Because other than getting information sent directly to you, there's no other way that you can know to do this work. Like, the only way you can know to do this work is to hear about it or to find out. That is the only way to be able to get this work done.
Do you agree? Go ahead, Koretta.
No, I was repetitive. It's no other.
That the majority of the people who vote are our people over 50, senior citizens, and it's our young people who are not voting.
Yes, I understand that. But I also want to point out that, this last election, the 18 to 24-year-old vote, I believe it quadrupled, right? So when you talk about the ones that's not going to vote, those are people that's like was born in 1980 through 1980 to 1970 to like 1990, right? Those are really the ones that would not being able to get out and vote, and that's because there is a disconnect. So the voting apathy is occurring because there is a disconnect in the parties understanding what this block of people is trying to do. What their goals are, what their aspirations are, what they believe in. Surprisingly, when I'm knocking on doors asking about issues related to abortion, surprisingly, the many doors that I knock on, they were actually in support of criminalizing abortion, because for them, that's not a them issue. That's not a them issue. They're like, we're not having abortion, so why does this affect us? And
yes.
A lot of people don't really understand that this block is progressive. Don't get me wrong, they're progressive, but they still hold on to some conservatism when it comes to their religious belief. And that is a fact that is not being taken into account when our political candidates are running for office. Also, something that's important to them is economics, right? They're wondering why they can't get the higher paying job. They're wondering why the schools that they have to send their children to, while those schools are underperforming. They have to, they want to know why they can't become businesses and why they can't become organizations. And they really tell me that they don't want to be a part of a system that keeps them living in poverty.
Wow,
and if see that it's going to change, then they don't see a reason that they should go out to vote. Because they're like, neither party care about my issues. Neither party care about what it is that's important to me. So
why vote?
You can win without me until you can decide to come and see me.
Well, let me just go and show a few pictures from the event on last Saturday. Can we do that?
Yes.
All right, let's do that. Oh, wow. All right. So that's those are some of the women that I do know, but I didn't know that they did all the things that they're doing. Yeah. I mean, I can't even say. I know Lynette has a million hats. Yeah. I know that, and then to know Nicole, Zuri. I always call her Zarel.
I call her Lady Z.
Yeah, Zarel and Cynthia. All of these ladies are like
they're doing things,
and you never hear that. Oh, okay, Cynthia Allen is doing this, and that these are the behind the scene. And what is so important with this for me is not about you, Koretta. It's about what you are doing behind the scene and making things happen. I don't need to be the perfect person for me for that was Grady. And when he got up and stated, "Oh, well, I don't need to be out front," but that's a hardworking gentleman, though. Yeah, that man works hard behind the scene, and nobody sees and what he does until it's done. Oh, Grady did that,
but you have to know Grady's working hard because he's been there 32 years. What did he say, 33 years? Yeah, he's been doing this for 33 years. So you have to know he's doing something right.
Correct.
He's doing something right.
Wow.
Yeah. These women are amazing. And I was introduced to every last one of you wonderful ladies and the ladies on this picture. I was introduced via Lynette. And Lynette had, she had this vision for Boss Women Network, right?
Yeah.
And it's to bring in women who's doing boss things so that we can be able to align with each other, work with each other, build coalitions together, and get things done. And to find out that Zarel, right, she has the Gibson Lupus Foundation, where she's building this organization, and she's been trying to build this organization for a minute, and couldn't, needed guidance on how to build her platform up. But the work that she's been doing to educate people who are directly or indirectly impacted with lupus, right?
Mm-hmm.
That right there in itself is amazing work. And I wouldn't
She's amazing too.
Right. And I would have never known she was doing that. Cynthia, right? Cynthia Allen, she's a promoter, right? She hosts events. She can help you with your wardrobe, right? Then Regina, right? Regina is working on getting ahead of the worst case scenario if there's a TEA takeover of HISD, if charter schools are strengthened, if the voucher system get passed. She's forward thinking and building a program on paper, right, to be able to ensure that our black students, black kids, African Americans are not left out. If it is to happen, and it's good to fight it, right? Because it wouldn't benefit everybody equally on a whole, right? Because one of the talking points is, and this was in an article with the Forward Times that I read this morning. One of the HISD trustees, is Bluefa Daniel. She said that, hey, if you get a $10,000 voucher and your child is going to a private school that's valued at $10,000 for the tuition, and kudos to you. But let's say that you want your child to go to a school and the tuition is $20,000. You still don't have. There's still not gonna be equality for every child to get the best education. And so all of the women on here are doing really great work, and I was just, it's just so good to be working with all of you all.
Girl,
yeah, it's great to be working with you.
Yeah, it was
great to be working with
you. You gave us an experience that I've been around the moon 65 years. You're 66, and you showed out. Let me just say that you were absolutely gorgeous. You had everything in order. So girl, it was a pleasure working with you. I look forward to doing more and more and more. But
so Koretta, I have a quick question though. Everyone who got up there and spoke about you was saying you needed to calm down. But your ever ready bunny energy, because you are an ever ready bunny. How do you, and these are people I know you respect.
Yeah.
How do you fit that you need to slow down, you need to calm down into your work ethic?
Well, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate with them. And basically what they were saying is, when you first first get started and you're full of energy and things like that, you can be kind of raw, right?
Yeah.
Filter. And in this world of advocacy, it comes with politics.
Right.
And politics comes with being diplomatic. So when they would say calm down, well, basically what they were saying is, Koretta, you have it. You got it. But we need you to become more diplomatic with it, because you hurting people's feelings, and some people might gonna end up not wanting to work with you, right?
So they want
like
you,
Linda Scott.
They want you to work on your delivery.
Yeah.
The right information. You have the right information. Just work on your delivery. Is that what they're saying?
Right.
But when you come out, when you come out doing what your heart and your mind is telling you, all you saying is, listen, I want the door open, and there's no better way, no easy way. You can't sugarcoat it. Open the door. That's how you come in, and that's how you came up. So some of the people, we older, but we have to remember that when we started, we were just like you. We were just like you. I know this is where I'm supposed to be going, and this is how I'm going to go get it. But I guarantee you, even though they said just calm down just a little bit, that's because they don't calm down.
Right.
But yeah. So now that they have calmed down, they want you to calm down, but you still have to wear them high heel boots. Okay, I'm stepping into the room, and this is what I'm going to do, and you're going to do. You're not going to do exactly what I say, but you're going to say, oh, but who is that?
Right.
So I understood what they were saying to you. And I was saying, girl, keep going. Kick it down. Kick it down. Kick it down.
So, Koretta, we have to take another break.
Is that time?
Yes, just have to take another break, and we will be right back. 15 seconds.
Don't go away.
If you live in Houston and surrounding areas and are in need of quality childcare, contact Cuckoo's Treasures today. We provide professional childcare in a caring and nurturing environment. Do you work second or third shift or don't have a typical schedule? Cuckoo's Treasures can assist you. We're open 24 hours and some weekends. Give us a call today at 346-313-9064. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Hey, welcome back. Listen, we only have 10 minutes, but it's going to be 10 good minutes because Koretta Brown has so much that, and I know some of you were on the live and you needed to be on here so that you can interact with Miss Brown. So if you got a moment, go jump on, ask her any questions. We'll try to pull out the important pieces, how you can reach her. There's people on our live who say they really need to get in contact with you. So how do they reach you, Koretta? Because I know we got time, but I want to make sure they get this info.
So if they go to www.bridges, BRIDGES, the number 4, YOU.com.
Okay.
The Bridges to Empowerment website will pop up. It'll be a button to click on to say join now. And when you click on that button, complete the information. I'm going to get your phone number. I'm going to get your email address. And then I'm going to email you. And then once I email you, you're going to email, the workers, the people who would like to join and support or be supported will have my email address, my contact information, and we can get started that way. But it first starts by going to www.bridges, the number 4, you.com.
Okay, so great. So I wanted to say that because I knew you was gonna say what you said, girl. So when I go to that email address, not email, that website, and if I want to help you as a volunteer or whatever you figure you can help me, use me for, that's where I would get in touch to say, hey, I want to be a part. Hey, I'm in Alaska. Can you help me get started?
Yes, absolutely. And then for those that are out of town that would like for, maybe the Young in the Politics to come out and help them with their candidacy, with their campaign, they can send an email to they can send it to k.brown.tytp@gmail.com. And that's how we can get, I can be able to talk to candidates that's, out of state, or, if they have volunteers that want to learn how to organize, want to learn how to build their thing up relationally, they can reach out, because it's not always that that the Young in the Politics have to go out of state. Sometimes it's just training and teaching somebody else how to do the exact thing that we're doing.
Okay. That sounds great. I'm looking for volunteers. I'm looking for people all over the world to join this organization because, as we stated earlier, we all know somebody who's been mistreated, or we know someone now. So you know where to go or how to do better. And now we know steps that we, without voting, all of these things right here, to understand that it's okay to ask for help.
Right.
And we bypass that a lot. I don't want to ask any question. I don't want nobody in my business. That's what it is. And Koretta, I am super proud of you. Super proud of you. I love to see young people do exactly what you're doing, and then that standing up. Yeah, they say it's okay to ask for help. So I love to see people stand up, a young generation, young, to start asking, how can I help you?
So Koretta, what is your next goal? What is your next step?
I'm gonna tell you what I really want. This legislative session, we are going to be in session, and we're going to fight a really hard for bail bills. I'm one of those that I believe we should have a system that works for everyone. I believe that it's not about letting everybody out. It's more about it's not about letting everybody out. It's more about public being cautious with people's U.S. Constitution rights, and at the same time keeping our public safe. So I'm gonna be advocating for bail bill that does that. And then one thing that I really want to get done, and I'm going to be working really hard. I definitely would need volunteers and people that want to become advocates to step up. But I want Fort Bend County Jail to become a polling location, and the reason why it needs to be a polling location is because there are so many voters in the county jail that simply can't bail out. They haven't lost their vote. They still have a right to vote. They simply cannot be out fighting for their freedom. And it's quite possible, even though this doesn't matter because you're innocent until you're proven guilty, but there are some who are innocently fighting their case in jail pre-trial because they can't bond out. It is it's inhumane, and it is wrong, and it is against their constitution to not provide in-person voting for them. Yes, we offer vote by mail, but a lot of them they've never voted by mail before. Some never voted at all.
Right.
And that's just something that we need to make happen. And there's no constitutional reason that we shouldn't. And I don't mean the Texas Constitution. I mean West Constitution.
Wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. So that wasn't my gift. I was about to say I didn't think of that, but it wasn't my gift. That's why. But I think that is so awesome because as of what you said, you're so right. There's so many people in jail trying to fight for themselves to get out and cannot get out because I can't vote. I can't do these things. And oh my God, Toya said, "Amen, amazing." That part just flowed me. I like with my mouth open.
So Koretta, tell us about you running for the school board.
Yes.
So I really wanted to run for the school board. As I mentioned, the uphill battle was to be able to get placed on the ballot based on language that's in the Texas Constitution, legislation that says we can, if you have a background, what you got to do to try to run. But I found out from the lead counsel for Fort Bend ISD, and he sent me the link. So I was able to actually look at the bill language. And in 2019, TEA changed the rules to say that it used to be only certain felonies wouldn't be allowed for office, but they changed the rules in 2019 when they started seeing grassroots advocates like myself with backgrounds were starting to run. So now the rule says you can't run or you can't serve as a trustee in education ever if you ever had a felony. So that brings another issue, to like why we need to end slavery in Texas, because technically what they just told me is Koretta, you are still a slave. You can pay your taxes, but you cannot represent.
at all. Oh my God. So
how do we get that change?
Yeah, how do we get that change? What do we need to do for that?
That is going to require a House Joint Resolution and a Senate Joint Resolution. It might be too late to file it this year, but if not, but it would be a resolution to amend that particular language that's in that piece of legislation. To do that, you have to get like a 2/3 legislative vote, right? 2/3 in the House and 2/3 in the Senate, just to get it placed on the ballot. So that so it's a fight, but there is a bill that Savannah, with the Coalition to Abolish Slavery, her and David have been able to work with other grassroots organizations like mine, and we've all behind this bill to take the language of slavery out of the Texas. And so, if anybody want to get involved, they can go to www.bridges, the number 4, YOU.
Yes.
.com.
Yes.
Sign up, and trust me, there is a lot of work. No one would be without work. I can assure you, there is somewhere for everybody.
Wow.
Well, I'm signing up now.
Right. Sharilyn is on the phone doing it right now.
I have it pulled up now.
Yes.
So it's God, it's our time to go. Oh, we're over 1 minute, but it's okay. It was worth it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will love for you to visit her website. Sign up, because there is something, as she said, for everybody to do. So if you would go to www.bridges, the number 4, and YOU.com and help. Let's go in and do what we need to do. Stop sitting around saying this ain't, and make it happen. Make it happen. Koretta, we're so grateful and so thankful that you came in and joined us, regardless of the difficulty that you were having. It's okay. You got your point across. And people, here's your opportunity to step in and do what you need to do to help us in the community. So remember what they said yesterday, it takes a village to make it work. And we are the village. That's to where we need to go. So,
and there's something for everyone. You might can't do what Koretta do. You might can't do what this person do, but there is something for everyone. You can knock on doors. You can send out letters. You can make phone calls. There is something for everyone to do.
For everybody. And just think, now you got children, cousins, nieces, some behind you. So we need to take care of them and show them the right way to go. So with all that being said, Koretta, thanks again for joining us. We look forward to working with you in the near future. And to everybody that's out there viewing us, thank you so much for your support. And Sharilyn and I say what? Good night. Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.